All right, my friend, take a breath. We're just days away from the 2025 NFL Draft, and if you're like me, your brain is spinning with possibilities. The kingdom is buzzing, and everywhere you look, there's a new name being thrown into the mix. The energy? It's electric. The rumors? They're wild. And the excitement? Oh, it's real. Now, if you've been tuned in to the latest Chiefs Report mailbag episode, you already know what I'm talking about. That episode set the internet on fire with fan questions about potential blockbuster moves the Chiefs might make before or during the draft. And let me tell you, some of these names, they're big. Let's start with the hottest ones. TJ Watt, Jaylen Ramsay, Tyler Lockett, even a local favorite, Devin Neal, popped up. Chiefs Kingdom isn't playing around. We're dreaming big. But as much as fans are hyped, there's also that nervous energy floating in the air. We've seen Veach pull off magic before, but could something massive really go down this time? You can, feel the tension in the air. Every mock draft, every rumor on Twitter, every quote from an agent or a GM gets dissected to the bone. And right now, nobody really knows what the Chiefs are cooking up, but everyone has a theory, including us. So, if you're a real Chiefs fan and don't want to miss anything before the draft, hit that subscribe button right now here on Total Chiefs. Tap that notification bell too. We're closing in on 4,000 subscribers, and every click helps us grow the kingdom right here on YouTube. And hey, let's get the conversation rolling early. Of all the names flying around, which one gets you most excited? Drop it in the comments right now. I'll be reading. Because in a few days, everything changes. And what goes down before that first pick might just shock the entire league. Your move, Veach. Okay, let's get right into the big one. TJ Watt. Yeah, I know. Just saying his name in a Chiefs context almost feels illegal. But here we are, deep in rumor territory. And this one's gaining steam. TJ Watt, one of the most dominant edge rushers in the game, wearing red and gold. It sounds unreal, but is it impossible? Let's break it down. First off, let's talk numbers. TJ Watt is still under contract with the Steelers, pulling in a major salary, over $28 million against the cap this season. That's a huge chunk for the Chiefs, who are already juggling a tight cap after locking down guys like Chris Jones and Jawan Taylor. So for this to happen, Veach would need to work. Some serious wizardry. We're talking contract restructuring, cutting depth pieces, and possibly waving goodbye to a few favorites. Now, value-wise, Watt is elite. He's a former Defensive Player of the Year, averaging nearly 14 sacks per season. The guy is a game wrecker, plain and simple. If he hit the market today, his price would easily be a first-round pick and probably more, especially for a team like Pittsburgh, who'd hate to strengthen a direct AFC competitor. So the big question becomes, would the Steelers even pick up the phone for a call from Kansas City? That's hard to say. Historically, Pittsburgh doesn't do rebuilds. They retool. But if Watt wants out, or they're looking to save cap, a shocking move isn't off the table. But here's the other side. Should the Chiefs even do it? Would you be willing to give up a first and maybe a third-round pick, plus a valuable role player, just for a couple of high-impact years from Watt? Because that's likely what it would cost. And to make this even more real, one of the fan questions that sparked this debate on Chiefs Report was, would you trade a first and third for TJ Watt if it meant restructuring Mahomes' contract to make it work? That's not just a fantasy. It's the exact kind of scenario we could be facing. So now, I'm throwing it to you. Would you make that trade? Hit the comments right now. Type T for trade or P for pass. Let's settle this once and for all. How far should we go for a shot at another ring? Because trust me, the front office is watching. All right, now let's switch gears and talk about another big name floating around the rumor mill, Jaylen Ramsay. I get it. Just hearing Ramsay to the Chiefs sounds like something out of Madden. But here's the deal. His name keeps popping up, especially among fans who want to see our secondary get even nastier in 2025. So, does this move actually make sense? Let's start with the basics. Ramsay is 30 now. Not ancient for a cornerback, but definitely past his physical prime. Last season with the Dolphins, he played just 10 games due to injury, but when he did play, man, he still showed flashes. 3 picks, 8 pass breakups, and leadership that's hard to teach. The man still has that alpha mentality. He brings edge, swagger, and experience. But, and this is a big one, he's expensive. He's carrying a cap hit north of $18 million, and even if the Dolphins were open to trade talks, they'd probably want a decent return, maybe a day 2 pick. That's a lot for a guy. Coming off knee surgery and entering the final stretch of his prime. Then there's the question of fit. Our current cornerback room isn't exactly hurting. Trent McDuffie is already a rising star, and Jaylen Watson and Joshua Williams have come into their own. Plus, let's not forget the Chiefs' defense was elite last season without a superstar name in the secondary. So do you rock that chemistry just to chase a big name? Now, if you're Veach, you also have to look at long-term value. The draft. This year is packed with solid corner prospects. Guys like Siobhan Revel or Kobe Bryant bring youth, upside, and a way smaller price tag. So why not go that route? And that's where fans are really split. Some are like, go get the proven dog. Others are saying, we've built this thing with smart cap moves and player development. Don't blow it now. So let's make it official. Would you want to see Jaylen Ramsay in red and gold? Drop a yes in the comments if you're all in. Or hit us with a no if you think it's time to let the young corners shine. We're building this debate with you, and your take might just show up in our next video. Okay, let's keep rolling, because the rumors don't stop at the big names like Watt and Ramsay. The Chiefs' kingdom's been buzzing about some real interesting targets lately, and it's time to break them down. Let's start with Tyler Lockett. Yeah, that Tyler Lockett. The longtime Seahawks receiver. What makes this one juicy is the emotional connection. Lockett's originally from Tulsa, and he's got strong Midwest ties. Some fans say he could be that veteran presence in our WR room, a guy who's been there, done that, and can teach the young guns how to win. And let's be honest, our receiving core has had its ups and downs lately. With Rashee Rice's off-field situation still hanging in the air, adding someone reliable like Lockett makes a lot of sense. He's not the burner he once was, but he still had over 700 yards last season and brings elite route running and sure hands. The big question is, will Seattle cut him loose, or would we need to trade a day 3 pick and take on his $11 million cap hit? Now, over to the offensive line. The name Logan Brown has started picking up steam in the pre-draft buzz. He's a tackle with raw athleticism, and fans are wondering if he could be a sneaky pickup to protect Mahomes' blind side long-term. But is he the best option? Some scouts are higher on guys like Josh Connerly Jr. or Patrick Simmons, who might be more polished. Still, Brown's upside is massive, and if he's sitting there in the 3rd round, it might be hard to pass up. And then there's Devin Neal, the Kansas running back. Local guy, huge production in college, and perfect for the kind of RB by committee system Andy Reid loves. He's got vision, burst, and soft hands out of the backfield. Some fans are even comparing him to a young Jerick McKinnon, tough, smart, and versatile. Keep an eye on Caleb Johnson, too. If the Chiefs want a bigger back to pair with Pacheco, Johnson might be the move in the 4th or 5th round. So here's the question for you. Which of these names would you most want to see in a Chiefs jersey? Drop your pick in the comments, Tyler, Brown, Neal, or even Johnson, and tell us why. We're watching the replies, and your shout-out might make it into the next video. All right, we've gone through the big names, the wild rumors, and even some under-the-radar picks. But now it's time to bring it all together with just days left before the 2025 NFL Draft kicks off. Every fan in the kingdom is wondering, what are the realistic moves Brett Veach is going to make? Let's be honest, Veach has a track record. He's not the kind of GM who throws money at aging superstars or trades away half the draft for a flashy name. He plays the long game. Remember, this is the guy who found Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith in the middle rounds and turned them into elite starters. So yeah, as exciting as it is to imagine TJ Watt or Jaylen Ramsay rocking the red and gold. The truth is, Veach might be leaning toward keeping those picks and building the roster the smart way. Here's what I'd keep an eye on in the first two rounds. In round one, don't be surprised if the Chiefs go with an offensive tackle or wide receiver, especially if a player like Brian Thomas Jr. or Kingsley Suamataia slips. In round two, that's where we might see a corner, a speedy edge rusher, or even a dynamic running back like Devin Neal if he's still on. The board. It's all about finding players who fit the system, contribute right away, and keep this Super Bowl window wide open. And hey, if you've stuck with me till here, you're part of this kingdom for real. So do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell right now if you haven't already. We're going to be live for every single pick the Chiefs make in this draft, and you're not going to want to miss a second of it. Let's ride together into draft night. Next stop, another banner in Arrowhead.